Ladies and gentlemen, that's how you start a Stanley Cup final. Woo, man. Game 1 of the Stanley Cup finals last night. If you guys missed it, you missed a hell of a game. Back and forth action. I mean, these teams refuse to send this game to overtime. They refuse to lose. But you know how it is in sports, right? One team has to lose, and that team, unfortunately, was the Carolina Hurricanes. But yeah, back and forth battle. There was a tie game at least 3 times in game 1 last night. Unbelievable. An offensive frenzy, rather. It was a slugfest. I mean, unbelievable. A bad night for goaltending. I mean, the goalies need to wake up a little bit. But yeah, goaltending, definitely not the greatest. Obviously, game 2 tomorrow. That's going to get cleared up from both teams. I would imagine, right? This is the 2 best teams in the NHL. This is Stanley Cup Finals. You don't mess around during these times. So, but yeah, what a great way to start off game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals. I mean, that was unbelievable. Probably the greatest game 1 in Stanley Cup Finals history. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me on Guys Time. The Bryce is here. I got my Thad Castle jersey on today. Yeah, we got a special jersey to wear today. Obviously, fans of Blue Mountain State. Great show back in the day on Spike TV. Now it's Paramount Network. But yeah, obviously, Alan Richson, who's Reacher now, if you guys know that show from Amazon Prime. He played Thad Castle, and it was a memorable show. So I'm supporting that jersey today. But yes, let's talk about more about of these Stanley Cup playoffs, the Stanley Cup Finals. Game 1, man, in Carolina. Carolina, dude, they were up 2-0. 2 quick goals in the first period. But you know, Vegas, never say die with this Vegas Golden Knights team. They just keep coming back. They do not quit. They can be down by 3. And they were at one point against the Anaheim Ducks. They were down 3-0 in a game in that series, and they came back and won that game. But 3 goals, right? But yeah, 2-0 deficit early in this one, first period, but they came back and tied it 2-2. And then we got, like I said, we got to go through all the scoring, right? So it was, like I said, the Hurricanes came out like they're supposed to. Home ice, obviously the fresher team, ready to go. They got the home field advantage. They're up 2-0 quickly in this one. So that was good. I mean, that was good for the Hurricanes to start off that way. You had to, obviously, set the tone, but then you gave up that lead. Vegas, you had to know Vegas was going to come back in this game, and they did. They tied it up 2-2, and then Vegas takes the lead 3-2, but then never say die when it comes to Carolina Hurricanes. They tied it 3-3, and then Vegas goes up 4-3, but then the Hurricanes, I don't think so. They come back and tie it up at 4, and then the final goal, a few seconds left. It was late in the game. Tomas Hertl scores the game winner for Vegas Golden Knights and gets the victory. 5-4 is your final. Vegas goes up 1-0 against the Hurricanes in this series, but damn, 9 total goals scored in Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals. How you guys feel about that? All you hockey fans, all you hockey fanatics, this is what we live for. This is what hockey's all about. I said numerous times on Guys Time. I said in my videos. I even talk with my family and friends that I talk sports about. Stanley Cup Finals, or Stanley Cup playoffs rather. Best playoff format out of all the big 4 sports. No question about it. Last night was a prime example. 5-4, your final. Vegas Golden Knights. I mean, they just took advantage of the Hurricanes. They couldn't get the puck out of the zone, committing stupid penalties late in the game. And that's just crazy, right? Because we talked about it before. Carolina was up 2-0 quickly in this game. I mean, the first goal was scored in 25 seconds of Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals. 25 seconds. Yeah. I mean, against a very strong, very talented Golden Knights team. So, yeah, all the scoring that I mentioned. Tomas Hertl, obviously, scoring the game winner, sealed the deal for the Vegas Golden Knights. And then 25 seconds in, first goal, Nikolai Ehlers. He had 2 in the game, but Ehlers with the first goal, 25 seconds in. That crowd went bananas. Carolina, they've been dying for a championship for a long time. 20 years. 2006 was the last time the Hurricanes won a Stanley Cup. And I said last time here on Guys Time, Rod Brind'Amour was a player. He was the captain of that team. Now he's trying to win one as a coach. Well, they definitely have to win tomorrow night if they want to stay in this one, because going to Vegas, game 3 down 2-0, that's not, that's not a good sign. That's bad news all over the place. So, yeah, lots of scoring this one. Very competitive game. And I said it earlier in the introduction of this episode. For goaltending, not a great night. I mean, both goaltenders, they didn't clean that up. I mean, I don't know how you allow so many goals. I mean, as the fans, we love it. We love a high-scoring hockey game, especially when it's game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals. I mean, come on. We love the scoring. But the goaltenders, I mean, this is very important when it comes to the Stanley Cup Final. Your goaltending is going to be the difference maker. Said it numerous times. Your goaltending will dictate if you win or lose the Stanley Cup Championship. Your goalies have to show up. They have to make plays. They have to do the unthinkable, the unstoppable, the impossible. They got to do whatever it takes to get the victory. But yeah, goaltending, got to clean it up. Not a good night for them. But for us fans, especially me, I loved it. Like I said, that's how you start the Stanley Cup Finals, with a game like that last night. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys play some bets on it. It was a hell of a game, very exciting, very competitive. But yeah, with that victory for the Vegas Golden Knights, 7 straight playoff victories for these Vegas Golden Knights. And I've said before, 9 years as a franchise in the NHL. And this is their 3rd Stanley Cup appearance. And it seems like every single year they get better and better and better. They've only missed the playoffs once in their short, storied franchise, right? 9 years in the league, you miss the playoffs once. Every other year, you make it to the playoffs. Can't say the same about the Red Wings. It's been a decade since we made it to the playoffs after so many years, 25 straight years of making it to the playoffs. But, that was way back when, right? Yeah, we'll see if anything changes. I don't think so. But anyways, enough about that. The Vegas Golden Knights, 7 straight playoff victories. Definitely a very tough team. They're rolling. I mean, they're dominant right now. They looked really good. I mean, a lot of teams would crumble like a chocolate chip cookie, being down 2-0, especially game 1 on the road, Stanley Cup Finals. Like, the crowd messed up our game. No, not this Vegas Golden Knights team. I mean, you got Jack Eichel, you got Mitch Marner, Shea Theodore. You got so many great players on this team, key players who are making key plays and creating key moments. That's what they did, man. That's what this team's all about. It's a team effort when it comes to the Vegas Golden Knights. Not just one guy or 2 guys. No, everyone contributes. The defensemen, the forwards, the centers, the wings, everybody, the goaltending. Well, I mean, he gave up 4 goals last night. But I'm just saying in general. And then you got John Tortorella, who's one of the greatest coaches of all time. He's been around for a long time. Ever since I was a little kid, 20-plus years, right? I mean, he's getting that team in shape. Great coach, told him to relax, down 2-0 early, like play your game, and out came a victory. Came with a big W on the road, game 1, Stanley Cup Finals. Whew, man. I mean, dude, I had goosebumps, man. I had adrenaline going to bed. It was a hard time falling asleep last night after that game. So, but yeah, great victory by the Vegas Golden Knights, and then the Hurricanes on the other side of the ice. Their only 2nd loss in this entire playoff run this year. 2 losses, that's it for the Hurricanes. So, best of the best, these 2 teams right here, the Carolina Hurricanes and the Vegas Golden Knights, and they proved it last night. But the Hurricanes, they got to clean it up. They can't commit stupid penalties. They got to get that puck out of the zone. And I mean, if you don't get that puck out of the zone, Vegas Golden Knights, you saw it last night. They're going to take advantage of it, and they're going to score on you. I mean, you got to play a better game. I mean, yeah, I get it. You gave up. I mean, you scored 4 goals. You scored 2 early in the game to go up 2-0. But look what happened. You blew the lead, especially on home ice. That's not good. So they got to clean that up. The goaltending's got to clean up for the Hurricanes and the Vegas Golden Knights as well. But the Hurricanes definitely need to win tomorrow night, 8 o'clock ABC at home, game 2. They got to win that one because they can't be down 2-0 going to Vegas Saturday, because that's the danger zone for the Hurricanes if that happens. So, great game 1. I hope you guys enjoyed it. But yeah, hell of a game, back and forth. You couldn't ask for a better way to start off the Stanley Cup Finals. So you got that going on. That's hockey. Game 2 tomorrow night, 8 o'clock ABC. Play some bets. Go Vegas. Go Carolina. Whoever you're cheering for. Canes. Golden Knights, it don't matter. We're going to see a great champion when it's all said and done. I'm hoping it goes to 7 games. That would be great. But game 1, man. Whew. I mean, I don't know. I'm afraid they used all their energy in this game, and then all the other games are going to be like, 1-2-1, or like 1-1, whatever, 1-0. Maybe I like to see a couple overtime games in this series, especially with these two teams. It makes sense, right? They're both competitive. They're both goal-scoring machines. Both, come back and they don't quit. Never say die attitudes from both franchises. Let's see an overtime game, or maybe even 2. Is that too much to ask? I don't know. But yes, game 1 last night, unbelievable. Definitely the best in all the game 1s I've seen in Stanley Cup Finals history. Unbelievable. Good stuff there. You got game 2 tomorrow. Check it out. That's the Stanley Cup Finals. Hopping over now. I know it hasn't started yet, but the NFL. Huge blockbuster trades yesterday. Obviously the main one, in my opinion, right? Myles Garrett, the reigning Defensive Player of the Year last year, 2025 Defensive Player of the Year. From the Browns, he's going to the Los Angeles Rams. So I guess we can already say that the Rams are going to the Super Bowl and winning the damn thing, right? They're sure as hell going to win the NFC West. They're going to win the division. Of course they are. Come on. You don't have to worry about the Cardinals. They're trash. The 49ers, and they might give you a run for their money. And then Seattle just won the Super Bowl, but they traded off a lot of their assets, including Kenneth Walker III, K9, right? And got rid of him. But the Rams, huge upgrade with the Myles Garrett thing. And, I was listening to 97.1 yesterday. I was listening to Mike Valenti and Rico Beard. I know they get a lot of criticism. I like them. I do, because Mike Valenti, even though there's times where I want to punch him in the head and I don't agree with what he's saying, he's honest. He sticks to his guns, and he's passionate. He's not afraid to tell the truth. He's not afraid to speak his mind. And they were talking about how the Lions wouldn't do something like this. And it got me thinking. I was just like, oh, you know what? He's right. Because when's the last time the Lions actually did something significant? Right? When it came to trades. Okay, significant, yeah, that was kind of like, kind of a stupid statement. Anything significant when it came to trades. When's the last time they did a blockbuster trade, right? I can't even tell you. And then when it comes to drafting, a lot of people still talk about the 2014 draft. We took Eric Ebron, top 10 draft pick, when Aaron Donald, one of the greatest defensive linemen of all time, was right there. And we could have had him. But no, we take Ebron. We needed a tight end, and he drops passes and can't score touchdowns, and he was just horrible for us. But anyways, it got me thinking, when the Lions, this is year 6 under Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. What are we doing here? I get it. We just re-signed Jack Campbell. I understand that. We got, probably Jahmyr Gibbs got to get an extension. Sam Laporta, we got him as well. But it's just we can trade people on the squad. And I think that's the thing. That's the problem with Detroit. I think they try to please the fans too much. Look what the Rams had to give up to get Myles Garrett. They gave the Browns tons of draft picks. The first round draft pick next year, second round for 2020, third round for 2029, and Jared Verse, who's still young. Defensive end from Florida State, still young, 3rd year in the league, going on his 4th year. He's young, and he's still got a lot of time to develop as a great defensive end, possibly. That's what the Rams were willing to do to nail Myles Garrett. And now they're favorites to win the Super Bowl, according to ESPN. So, Lions, that could have been you. You trade off people. Yeah. Do I like a lot of our players on our team? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, you got to make business decisions. If Myles Garrett's going to be the guy who's going to help you go to the Super Bowl, you get the damn guy. And you trade whatever. That's business. That's the price you pay in sports on the business side. So the Rams are definitely locking up They're lock and loaded. They're the scariest team in the NFL right now, not just the NFC, not in just the NFC West. Like I said, they're winning that division, right, with the addition of Myles Garrett. But they're the scariest team in the NFL right now. But yes, the Browns get all those draft picks. They get Jared Verse for Myles Garrett. But I mean, come on, it's the Browns, right? Like, what are they going to do with these draft picks? It's the Browns. You go there for your career to end. I mean, it seems like every year they get all these draft picks because they're making trades left and right. But what did he do with them? They still suck. They still end every single year not making to the playoffs because it's the Browns. It's a horrible franchise. And I thought the Lions were horrible for many years, but at least the Lions have some potential. The Browns. They got all these draft picks, but not going to do anything with them because it's the Browns. I mean, come on, dude. It's crazy. But yeah, that's a place where your careers go to die. 100%. So now with the addition of Myles Garrett for the Rams, you got Byron Young as an edge rusher. So your two top edge rushers are maniacs, are absolute savages. Byron Young last year, according to ESPN, 12 sacks, 45 tackles on his own, 82 tackles total. Woo, man. And then you got Myles Garrett, who was the Defensive Player of the Year last year. Rams are all in, man. They want to win now. They want to go to the Super Bowl. Rams and Les Snead, the GM for the Los Angeles Rams, playing to win now. They want the Super Bowl. They want another Lombardi trophy. Obviously, last week they signed Matthew Stafford to a 1-year, $55 million extension. So they're ready. And then, they're signing up for their future. They drafted Ty Simpson from Bama. So the Rams. Whew. I mean, it's crazy. Saw it on my phone yesterday. I couldn't believe it. I was hoping maybe the Lions would make a deal like that, but they wouldn't do that, right? And the Lions, kind of going off topic here. Look, they have one of the easiest schedules. No. I said it last time here on Guys Time. Week 1 against the Saints at home. Okay, you can talk to me then. Whoever makes the roster, the 53-man roster, okay. Who's ever starting that game, who's injured or hurt, all right, then you can talk to me. This easiest schedule, hardest schedule garbage, I don't want to hear it. So with the Lions, I just don't know. I don't know about this team. I really just, let's have it play it out. Let's play it out. Let's see what happens with the Detroit Lions team, but they wouldn't make a move like that. Well, the Rams did. And they were willing to do whatever it took to get Myles Garrett. And they got him. Scary. Very scary. Just one word to describe that situation, to describe the Rams, scary. Definitely, yeah, they're the favorites to win the Super Bowl now. So you had that going on. And then you had another blockbuster trade. You had A.J. Brown. Finally, he's gone from the Philadelphia Eagles. He's going to the New England Patriots. So all that drama, all that BS, that garbage from last year, not getting enough touches, not getting enough passes thrown to him. He's crying. Wah. Well, now, clean slate. New chapter in your life. You're starting off fresh. You got a new quarterback with Drake May. I don't know if that's a step up from Jalen Hurts, but hey, at least Drake May went to the Super Bowl this past season. So maybe it is. I don't know. But yeah, it sounds like there was a lot of trouble with A.J. Brown and his teammates, the organization. Like I said, lack of production, right? I mean, the stats don't lie. And this is from ESPN. 78 receptions, tied for 19th in the league last year among receivers and tight ends, or in the passing game. Just barely over 1,000 yards, 1,003 yards, tied for 19th. Touchdowns, he only had 7 touchdowns. If you had him in your fantasy football league, yeah, it was pretty bad last year. And I think I had him in my fantasy league. So yeah, it was heartbreaking to not see him get the production that we're used to seeing out of A.J. Brown. But yeah, 7 touchdowns, tied for 15th. And then he was only averaging 12.9 yards per catch, almost 13 yards per catch. That's not A.J. Brown numbers. So maybe he goes to the Patriots now, and maybe he gets more to production. Maybe get along with your teammates. I don't know. Maybe make, someone happy. Obviously, at the end of the day, you got to think about yourself for sure. But then you got to be cordial with your teammates. You weren't getting that with Philadelphia. So that's why they finally got rid of your ass and now you're with the with the Patriots. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, A.J. Brown to the Patriots, Myles Garrett to the Rams. And then, yeah, you get Drake May for a quarterback for A.J. Brown. And Eagles get a 2028 first-round pick and a 2027 fifth-round pick. So not really a whole lot for A.J. Brown. Now, I know A.J. Brown's in his 30s now, so, he's getting a little older. But we'll see what happens. I'm actually kind of interested how they're going to use him with the Patriots. Drake May and all that good stuff. And then you got Mike Vrabel dealing with that crazy situation with Diana Rossini. Yeah, I'm not even bothered. I'm not even gonna waste my breath talking about that. It is what it is. But yeah, two blockbuster trades going down yesterday. Myles Garrett from the Browns going to the Rams. He's an LA Ram officially, and then AJ Brown finally leaving the Eagles, starting a new chapter with the New England Patriots. So that's the NFL for you. Crazy that we were talking about NFL stuff in June, but yeah, lots of signings going on yesterday as well. I guess the Giants are signing a lot of wide receivers. Odell Beckham making his return to the Giants. Braxton Berrios is with the Giants as well. Juju Smith-Schuster signing a deal. So I guess Jackson Dart, he's got options, I guess, in the passing game, but damn, that offensive line needs to protect them more. So we'll see what happens with that. But yes, crazy enough we're talking about the NFL this early on. Early June. But yeah, crazy blockbuster trades yesterday in the NFL. What are your guys' thoughts? Well, now, finally, the NBA Finals are here. Starting tonight, 8:30 on ABC. The New York Knicks going up against the San Antonio Spurs. This is a rematch from 27 years ago, the 1999 NBA Finals. Yeah, people thought the whole world was going to end. The Y2K BS. Yeah, it was a weird time. But the Knicks, that was the last time the Knicks were in the NBA Finals, 1999. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. I was barely 3 years old last time the Knicks were in the NBA Finals. Then the last time these two met in those 1999 Finals, Napster was still around. Yeah, where you get and download music and you share audio files. Yeah, that was a thing back then. Yeah, I know all you youngsters don't know what that is. I do. I used it a little bit. Facebook, Twitter, or Twitter X, whatever you want to call it nowadays. Instagram. Those three social media websites were not even around the last time the Knicks and the Spurs went up against each other in the NBA Finals. The most popular car in 1999, the Ford F-Series. And then the Toyota Camry was the best-selling car in 1999. Dude, crazy, right? Crazy stuff. The highest-grossing movie back in 1999, the last time these two teams faced in NBA Finals, where the Spurs won, obviously. Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. That's the best one, right? With Darth Maul. Badass, right? Come on. I know you Star Wars people probably give me crap for that. Highest grossing movie that year, making over $924 million worldwide. So, yeah, it's been a long damn time since not only the Knicks made it to the NBA Finals, but since the Knicks and the Spurs battled it out in those 1999 NBA Finals. Obviously, the Spurs winning the first championship with Tim Duncan and Greg Popovich, and then they went on to win few more. 2003, 2005, I think 2007, and 2014. That was the last time the Spurs won a championship. And then the Knicks, been a very long time since they won a championship. So, game one on tonight. Check out Jalen Brunson. Hopefully he doesn't flop like SGA was doing in that series for the Thunder against the Spurs. And then Victor Wembanyama. 7'4", beast. Who doesn't love Victor? That guy is a true monster. Game one on tonight, 8:30. All you NBA fanatics, play some bets. Knicks, Spurs, game one. Let's roll. That's the NBA Finals. And now, to end this episode today, we got to talk about the Detroit Tigers. Whoa. New month, new team. Changing of the tide much? Since June 1st, since Monday. They started a series with the Rays. They swept the Rays. And they're one of the best teams. They're a very good team in the MLB. They swept them. on the road, may I remind you. Yeah, they swept the Tampa Bay Rays. They're undefeated in the month of June, the Tigers are. Whoa. Okay. Now, yes, they deserve the criticism for playing like absolute garbage the whole month of May. Like, horrible. You lost, 7, 8 straight series in a row? But now June comes around. We're only 3 days in, and you're undefeated. You swept the Rays. Oh, wait a minute now. Are we flipping the script here? Changing of the tide much? Oh, wait a minute. We still got a lot of baseball to be played. I mean, I don't know. I don't. You know what I mean? I don't want to put my eggs in one basket. Like I said, you got a lot of baseball to be played. A lot of things can happen from now to when the playoffs start. But this is kind of a good sign. I mean, 3 games in, 3 days in the month of June. Hold your horses. Let's don't get too excited, right? But Tampa Bay Rays, good team, right? They got swept at home by the Tigers. Tigers have the worst record in MLB. And now they're undefeated. They're 3-0 in the month of June. Crazy. Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. Tyler Mizzy, I know he's happy. Shout out to him. He's got to be happy, right? He's a Tigers fanatic. He's got to be pleased with the victory today. 7-2, the Tigers won today to complete the sweep of the Rays. But now they got the Mariners, 33-29 record. That's always a tough battle, it seems like, for the Tigers. They're playing them at home. The Tigers are playing Comerica, so we'll see. 3-game series starts Friday. But yeah, man, the Tigers. New month, new team, right? Hey, we'll see what happens. Maybe they can ignite a flame, get some sparks going. Maybe they can start something special. You know, nicer weather. I don't know. It's just crazy, right? Like, the Tigers were god-awful the whole month of May. Like, horrible, unwatchable, wasting your time. You rather watch paint dry. I think that's why I said last time I was on here on Guys Time. But here we are. 3-0, undefeated, won 3 games, swept the Rays in the month of June. We'll see what happens. But that's the Tigers. We'll see where this team is going forward. But that's it today. So thank you so much, as always, for joining me on this episode of Guys Time. You guys are amazing, as usual. Watch the Stanley Cup Finals tomorrow night. The NBA Finals, Game 1, 8:30, ABC. Knicks, Spurs. Check it out. Play some bets. You got Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals on tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, ABC. Tigers are rolling. Like I said, undefeated in the month of June. I know we're 3 days in, but Tigers possibly changing of the tide, turning the page. We'll see. We'll maybe changing for the better of the good. You know, looking great right now. So far, right? And don't get my hopes up. Got the Mariners Friday night 3-game series there. We'll see what happens, man. But yeah, thank you so much. You guys are amazing as always. This episode's going to be available. I'll try to get it out tonight, early, and definitely latest tomorrow, the audio version, and then obviously YouTube. Subscribe to my page, Guys Time with the Brides. We talk about sports. You know, we love sports on this podcast. Anything dealing with entertainment. I'm your guy. Subscribe now, YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram at Guys Time with the Brides. You guys are awesome, as always. All right, thank you so much. Check out my new episode coming out here in a little bit. Try to get that out to you guys. And I know we missed last week. Try and be more consistent with these episodes, but you guys are awesome. I appreciate your patience. All right, take care, guys. It's Wednesday. Finish off this week. Enjoy the weekend. I appreciate the support. Stay safe out there, guys. Thanks for joining.